Well, all of this is talking about the supply chain, logistics. Of course, petrol is not just for petrol, it's for transportation of both persons and products. Let's talk about that supply chain and logistics now and how it's affecting consumer goods sector. We have right here in the studio the plant manager from Cadbury, Mr. Owen Akinwande. Mr. Akinwande, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Hini, and thanks for having me.
Great. So we're just talking about the issue of petrol, and we've seen price drop. Dangote has announced reduction of price, and a lot of conversation of how this has fed into the supply chain. I mean, you deal with transportation, you move your raw materials to your factory. Has it been affected by this reduction in price that we've seen in recent times?
Definitely, and I think this is in the right direction because you realize that, of course, we make use of logistics as well. If the price of fuel is coming down, then definitely this is also going to impact on our total manufacturing cost and conversion cost, because there is an element of that that also has to do with movement of our goods and all that. Even from raw material point of view as well, buying as well, there is also an element of that that also has to do with the cost of transportation to our facilities. So by and large, we also see that this is also then going to impact on our total manufacturing cost. So I think this is the right thing, and good to know that things are happening in the right direction in the country.
So talking about raw materials, with all of the things that Nigeria has gone through and all of that, there's been conversation of people or companies looking inwards to locally produce raw materials. Has it affected? Have we seen that in Cadbury in reality?
Of course, for us in Cadbury, of course, we are into the manufacturing of powdered beverage and candy confectionaries. Bonvita and Tom Tom be our major brands. And if you look at these, brands, the major raw material is sugar, which we source locally. And of course, even for our powder beverage as well, cocoa is a major raw material as well. In fact, for us, we are also into backward integration for cocoa powder manufacturing. We have a plant in Nigeria as well, where we produce
so
cocoa powder.
Did you have that because of the FX shortage and the cost of production, or has it always been like that?
It has always been like that, especially for our backward integration. It has always been like that. I would say that probably we are more forward, thinking, looking at what could happen in the future, and that is the way we are modeled. We've always been having that backward integration for our cocoa and also for our malt. We also have a plant as well that produces malt, because malt is also one of our major ingredients in our powder beverage and also in our candy, in which we also source locally for all the raw materials as well.
Yeah, so talking about logistics, what's the connection from the farm? Because sometimes they say even though there seems to be high demand, the farmers still lose out of it because of the middlemen. When you look at the value chain or the supply chain connection of the farm to the factory.
Yeah, for us, we try to connect with the farmers, but we also make use of third parties that buys from the farmer, because dealing with a whole lot of farmers in terms of ensuring that they meet with our specification. So we have third parties that actually knows our specification, their quality, because the quality of the raw material is very key to us. So they actually understand our quality parameters and our specification, and they go to the farm, buy from the farmers, and ensure that they buy premium commodities for us. So we make use of third party. However, we also connect with the farmers in terms of training and building their capability, to ensure that they also farm such that it meets with our specifications as well.
But speaking generally, how true is it that Nigeria is losing out on a lot of export revenue because of the quality of our products or the processing of our products from the farm?
Yes, and that is where I think capability building comes in. I talk about also working. We actually have what we call a Cocoa Life program, where we partner, for example, with cocoa farmer to teach them about international standard, international specification, and how to ensure that they meet with that international specification. And I think a whole lot of body needs to do this as well, to ensure that whatever we produce locally can actually meet international specification. And I think we need to invest more in capability building for the farmers and training them to ensure that they meet that international specification, so that we can take advantage of the global market.
Yeah, but can that be extended? Because I mean, if you are going to do it, you're going to do it it with just a handful. Do you think there's a need to expand that kind of a program? Because at the end of the day, we cannot depend on just oil.
Correct.
As a country, we need to look at agricultural produce. But if we cannot produce, I mean, I spoke to somebody who said they have to import corn to make popcorn in Nigeria because at the point of harvest or so, they're not processing it in a way that, will give a good quality popcorn. So is there a need for a national policy or program that would actually work with farmers widely in the country to educate them on the proper way to handle this?
Yeah, I think there are programs, maybe in terms of effectiveness of the program, there may be need for improvement. But I know that there are a lot of programs from government point of view and also from Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, partnering with farmers in terms of building their capability on global practices. Also, you see a lot of international body, they are also concerned about, protection for the planet, ensuring that your farming is not impacting negatively on the planet. So this is something, very big for international companies as well. So I know that this is happening in the country, but definitely there is need for improvement. And if a lot of companies as well, individuals and companies can also come in, like we are doing, come in to also train farmers, and I think that will be very good. We shouldn't leave this only for the government. A lot of body needs to come into play here. All
right, Mr. Owen Akinwande, Plant Manager at Cadbury. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.